Hello everyone, Namaste. How are you doing? Great. I'd like to welcome to the English class of grade 10. Yes, dear students, if you are a bit far away from your television set, please come closer with your textbook, pen or pencil and other necessary materials. Is that okay? Great. So today we'll begin Unit 18, Media and Entertainment. Dear students, media and entertainment. Yeah, you have a picture here. What do you think the media is? Can you tell? Can you share your ideas? Good, you're right. So these pictures represent media. Then what is media? Good. It's the mass communication enterprise. And again, what is mass communication? Good. You're right. Mass media is a communication that reaches and influences a large number of people. It is dissemination of informations. So more ideas? Good. It is a medium in which information is transmitted to the vast majority of the general public. Yeah, you can see in the pictures. We do not communicate just with a single person, a vast majority of the people. For example, you have a newspaper here, The Rising Nepal, that is one of the national daily of our country. That's example of media. Another movie, you have Jhola. You have televisions. Yes, newspapers. What is that? Magazines, you're right. Books, right. Radio, what more? Great, television and different applications. They are the examples of media. You're right. So, largely speaking, there are two types of media. Good. What are they? Yes, print media and electronic media. Magazines, newspapers, flyers, even the newsletters, journals, etc. That are the examples of print media. And no, they are the hard copy of information. They have their physical existence. You're right. And what is next? Types of media. Right. Electronic media. So, electronic media includes digital media like television, radio and internet, movies and many more, They are the soft copy of the informations. Can you guess, dear students, what may be the main purpose of media then? Great. You're right. So the main purpose of media is to provide entertainment to the people so that they can occupy their leisure time, right? Good. Dear students, now what do these pictures represent? Can you answer? Good. First picture. Good. It's example of print media, right? It's newspaper. What about 2? Jhola, right? That's a movie. That is also another example of media. And what about 3rd? Television. You're right. That is also examples of media. So these pictures represent media. You're right. Dear students, now let's go to the first reading text. That is Hachi, a dog's tale. Before we go to the text, there are some pre-questions given. Answer these questions. Can someone read for me the question? Great. The first question is, how often do you watch movies? You're right. Different people have different choices, and they watch movies in different ways. For example, yes, some people watch movie occasionally, some people always watch movie, some people might watch once in a month, right? So if you ask me, I watch movies once in a month. What about next question? What kind of movies do you prefer to watch and why? You see? Yeah. So it's talking about different genres of movies. So can you name some of the genres of movies? What kinds of movies do you prefer? You're right. So there are some people prefer adventure movies, some people prefer action movies, comedy, fantasy, even romance, or some people prefer family drama, or even thriller. So let me now show you some of the one very short video clip that will tell you about different genres of movies. All right, good. Okay, students, let's watch a movie. Let's watch a video for a while.
First things a filmmaker has to decide is what genre does their story fit into. Sometimes surprise them.
Okay, did not see that coming.
Today we will explore many kinds of genres, what sets them apart, and how videos. Then a multitude of genres have emerged, including horror, thriller, romance, and comedy. In fact, most genres can be further divided into more specific categories called subgenres. For example, subgenres within the action genre include martial arts, adventure, and of course, superhero films.
Great, dear students, you enjoyed a video about different genres and subgenres of movies. I hope you enjoyed. For example, action movies, that films that feature dangerous situations, high stake risk, physical stunts, and even fight scenes are there. For example, like I recommend you to watch Dead or Alive, The Rock, if you really like action movies, and like adventure movies now. Okay, the films that involve a journey, a pursuit, or an exploration of exotic locations. For example, Coco 2007, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's very interesting adventure movies. Like fantasy movies, as you have said, films that use supernatural, magical, or imaginative elements, often set in fictional world or alternative realities. Okay, if you like fantasy movies, like you can go for The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Spirited Away. All right, when you have free time, you can watch them. And if you like, what is comedy films? Again, films that are designed to entertain and make audience laugh, often using humor, irony, or satire. For example, Mr. Popper's Penguins, Two Crazy Friends. And some people prefer family drama, and what is family drama? Films that focus on realistic characters, emotions, and conflicts, often dealing with serious or social issues. For example, The Blind Side. And we'll watch a family drama today. What is that? A Hachi, the dog's tale. It's very interesting. Yes, can you guess now what we're going to do today? Great. We're going to deal a movie review by Laura Bush, Hachi, a dog's story. All right, so before we go for the text, let me introduce some major characters here. All right, so you have Lasse Hallström as a director of the movie, and Parker Wilson is the major character, and we have Kate Wilson. The Parker Wilson and Kate, they are husband and wife in the movie, and they have a daughter, and her name is Andy Wilson, And the Parker Wilson, he is a professor of music, and he has a friend. He's a commuter. He frequently, visits his office from home. His office is a bit far away. That's why he uses train. And he has a friend there, train railway station master, Mr. Carl. He's his friend, Parker's friend. And we have Kane, Kane. Okay, he's Kane, another character in the movie. And, he is a university professor and he's friend of Parker. Parker and Kane, they are very good friends. And they have in a railway station there is another character, Jess. He's a hot dog seller. He's a vendor there. And Mary Ann, she's a books shop owner, and her bookshop is there in the station. And there is another character, Michael, and Michael and Andy, they are best friends. They are later on they marry and they become husband and wife. All right. Okay, so these are the major characters, and let's talk a bit about the plot of the story. So how does the story begin then? Yes, good. The movie begins with Ronnie. Ronnie is the son of Andy and Michael. Ronnie, the grandson of Mr. Parker, telling the story in his class. So the grandson of Parker is telling a story in the class, and he says to his class that its personal hero is his grandfather Parker Wilson's dog Hachi. Parker Wilson is a professor of music. He's a commuter. As I've said, what commuter is, I'll explain later as well. So one day he finds a dog that was lost on the railway station. Right? He found a lost dog in a railway station, and then the dog remains unclaimed but grows close to Parker. So they became the best friend at the time. Okay, the Hachi, that is the name of the dog, and they became the best friend. But his wife, Kate, does not like dog, but Wilson is compelled to give temporary shelter in the beginning. But his wife Kate finds her husband and her daughter very, very happy with the dog. So she agrees to keep Hachi with them. And Parker tries in vain to train Hachi in normal dog with things like fetching a ball. However, Kane, Kane is his Japanese friend, explains that Akita dogs, that the dog that he found in the railway station belonged to Akita breed, and that is a Japanese breed, one of the breed of dog. And then his Japanese friend Ken tells him that the Akita dogs cannot be trained. If Hachi fetches the ball, and it will be for a special reason. Okay, and later on, Parker's daughter Andy gets married to Michael, and Hachi is in the family marriage photograph. He becomes the part of the family. And soon after the marriage, Andy announces that he's pregnant, and later on, she gives birth to a son, Ronnie, who begins the story in the beginning, who begins to tell the story. However, one morning, Hachi behaves strangely at home and then follows Parker to the railway station with the ball. Normally, they are not trained, but he comes with the ball in the mouth. Hours later, while still holding the ball, Parker suffers a fatal stroke in his classroom and he dies. That was special reason of holding a ball by the Akita breed of dogs. And that was showing a very misfortune, the foreshadowing the misfortune of the death of the Parker. But Hachi keeps waiting for him at the railway station. For how long? He waits his master for 9 years. How long? 9 years. On Parker's 10th anniversary, Kate arrives in town to visit his grave, but she's so surprised. Why? Because Says, moved to see an elderly Hachi still waiting at the station for his master. Later, Kate tells 10-year-old Rooney the story of Hachi. So Hachi later passes away at his place in the station while still waiting for Parker. Later on, a bronze statue was built in his honor. So today you might have guessed what we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about a movie, Hachi, and its reviewed movie text, and it will tell about the devotion and loyalty of a dog towards its master. So before we go to the text, let us watch a short video clip about the movie. Is that okay? Okay.
Hachiko was my grandfather Wilson's dog. Everyone called Hachi a mystery dog because they never really knew where he came from. And that's where their story began.
Hey, buddy, you lost?
One chance encounter.
He was at the train station.
Just thought you'd bring him home and talk me into keeping him.
Tomorrow morning, we'll find out exactly where he belongs.
Became
Dad, I love him.
a miraculous story.
Does he have anemia?
Yes, he does. Temporary guest.
Go ahead, go ahead. No, the ball.
He's lost it. Sorry. The dog's already been taken.
Whoa! Good work. So go ahead, go on home. Archie, what are you doing here? Been here all day?
No. He just showed up 2 minutes ago.
It's amazing. Every day.
Hachi! Hey, Hachi!
You don't have to wait anymore. He's not coming back.
Based on a true story. One dog's loyalty
Hey, Hachi.
inspired a town
Is that the dog that I've been hearing so much about?
to discover friendship can last forever.
Every day, come, same time, same place.
Sounds like it can make a good story.
Starring Richard Gere, Academy Award nominee Joan Allen, Eric Avari, and Jason Alexander.
When I hear about my grandfather and Hachi, I feel like I know him. They taught me the meaning of loyalty. That you should never forget anyone that you've loved.
Hachi, a dog's tale based on a true story.
And that's why Hachi will forever be my hero.
Dear students, how did you find the video clips? Good. Are you excited to watch? Yes. If you have a time, you can go to YouTube and you can search Hachi, a dog story, and you can enjoy the movie. No? Full movie. Dear students, now let's go to the text. You will be reading the text for me, and if you come across some unfamiliar words, you'll just underline them, all right? Good, that's great. So, you read. Good. Hachi, a dog story, is a heartwarming and inspiring family drama that tells the story of one dog's unwavering loyalty. The word unwavering might be unfamiliar for you. So what does it mean? It means good, not changing or becoming weaker, For 9 years, he keeps waiting for his master. So it shows the loyalty. What kind of loyalty? Unwavering loyalty and devotion. When college professor Parker Wilson, is Richard Gere, discovers, or rather unlikely commuter. Okay, another unfamiliar words, commuter. Can you guess? Good. A person who travels into a city to work each day, usually from quite far away. So he's a commuter. He travels to his office, and his office is a bit, his university, he's a university professor, so his university is a bit far away from his home. So he frequently travels by train, so he's a commuter. Wandering around the train station, he takes the adorable lost Akita puppy home with him. Brings home Parker and his new canine friend. So what is canine? Yes, you're right, connected with dogs, right? Hachi, or is also called Hachiko, soon form a bond that cannot be broken. Hachi follows Parker to the train station every day, with his master, returns to the station every evening to greet his beloved master after work. All right? When he goes in the morning, Hachi goes with him, and when he comes in the evening, he goes to the station to receive him. What about the next paragraph? Good. On one very sad day, Parker leaves for work and becomes deathly ill, never to return to the station again. He dies. Even after Parker passes away, Hachi, how faithful was Hachi? Hachi faithfully returns to the station every day for next 9 years until his death. He dies. Hachi dies after 9 years to wait for his beloved master, and he died waiting for his master to return. During those 9 years, this amazing dog touches the lives of the vendors. Vendors? Vendors. What is vendor? A person who sells things, for example, food or newspaper, usually outside on the street. Okay, nearby the railway station, there are so many vendors. They were surprised. Even the station master was surprised, and the many commuters at the station were surprised. Why? Yes, you're right, because he kept waiting for 9 years for his master to return. And this waiting teaches them the true meaning of loyalty, devotion, and love. Hachi's unyielding devotion. Unyielding. What is the unyielding? Again, not easily influenced and unlikely to change their mind. Unyielding devotions and love towards his master, soon gains media attention. And there is a journalist, he covers the news, and the news is spread all over the country, all over the world. And this dog's amazing story not only touches the lives of those at the station square, but all who learn about Hachi's love and devotion. What happens then? Yes, this film is an American adaptation. Adaptation. What is that? The action or process of changing something to suit a new purpose or situation. This movie is adapted because this movie is based on the real story that happened in Japan, but this is American adaptation. Some changes are made of a true story set in 1925 Japan about a professor and his devoted dog Hachiko. Today, you can see in the picture, this is railway station. What? A bronze statue of Hachi sits in the Shibuya station in Japan in honor of his faithfulness and loyalty. This is what the Hachi's story. And there are some positive contents that the reviewer find in the movie. Hachi, a dog story, is one of the most refreshingly clean films that I have seen in a very long time. This is the kind of movie that families can watch together without worrying it is going to certainly become crude or profane. So what is crude? Offensive or rude, especially about sex, and that is synonyms is vulgar. This is not vulgar types of movie. When profane, what is that? Having or showing a lack of respect for God or religion. Okay. This film reinforces the principles of devotion, love, selflessness. Reinforces. What does it mean, reinforces? The word may be unfamiliar for you. So it means to make a feeling, an idea, etc. stronger. So, and its positive portrayal of loving family reveres. Reveres means what? Your guess is correct. Respect, right? Marriage and traditional family values, because you'll find a very, very strong bond between the husband and wife in the story, and even the daughter Andy, they have a very, very strong relationship. So it reveres the marriage and traditional family values. These fruits of the spirit and this film's respect for family and marriage are brought to life through many sweet and tender moments throughout the movie. Now, if you watch a movie, you'll find so many sweet and tender moments the family members they have. We see Parker and Hachi share a ball of popcorn, sharing ball of popcorn together with the animal, the dog. You should have a heavy heart for that. As they sit on a couch together while watching a Yankee game, Parker also gets down on all fours to try to teach the puppy how to play fetch. Beers will be tossed as they watch the bond of friendship and loyalty strengthen between this cute puppy and his newfound master. Okay? Yes, and you can see in the picture a barbecue here. And one day, what happens? One of the good thing that the writer finds is, the Andy, their daughter, invites his fiancé Michael to a barbecue party, and then they enjoy that. And then if you go here, the reviewer will tell us about the cinematic perspective of the movie, and she's very honest, very happy with the director Lars Hallström's choice of musical score, like soft piano music you'll find enhances the film's pathos, creating pathos beautifully. And what is pathos here? Yes, it means the power of performance. It makes people cry. If you watch a movie, you'll cry, I know. And his a creative use of black and white shots shows the audience has its perspective of the world around him. So it's talk about cinematic graphic part is also one of the thing that the reviewer likes. The film begins with Parker's grandson Rooney explaining to his class that his hero is his grandfather, and Hachi, because their inspirational story has taught him the true meaning of loyalty. So the incredible story. What is incredible? Unbelievable, impossible to believe, something like that. Story of loyalty has not only inspired Parker's family and the locals at the train station, but as beers was the many scenes of Hachi's unwavering devotions as he waits outside of the station in heat and snow. You see, he's waiting in a heat and in a sun, in a snow, even the days and nights waiting for his master, all bringing out the best in the locals. You and your family will inspired by the touching story. And now the reviewer also shares some of the objectionable content in the movies, like there are really nothing offensive in the film, but I'll mention the few things that may be slightly bothersome to some viewers. And what are they? Like Parker and his wife exchanging kisses throughout the film, that may be a little bit bothersome for some audiences. But the reviewer tells that these kisses are not the passionate kisses, rather they are the tender kisses. Means a couple exchanging in a loving and happy marriage. And another thing that is objectionable, the reviewer find is about sipping champagne. Like for example, drinking alcohol. The scenes of drinking alcohol might be a little bit objectionable for some viewers who do not like alcohol. And there is one misuse of God's name, another thing. And one of the Parker's fellow professors tell him that the Japanese symbol on the small tag that he found around Hachi's neck when he picked him up at the train station. Yes, it's very important. when Parker found Hachi, there was one tag around his neck, and there was written, in Japanese language, there was written Hachi, and his Japanese friend told him that Hachi means 8, and that is not just 8, and number 8 in Japanese culture is the what? The symbol of good fortune. And spiritual significance of 8 in Japanese culture reaches up to heaven and comes down in the earth, reaching to heaven and coming to the earth, it's the religious thing is there in the movie. So finally, there are conclusion and recommendations that the reviewer makes. So overall, this film brings a breath of fresh air into the secular film world, where so-called family films are too often littered. What does it mean, littered? And secular means connected or not connected, right, with spiritual. Secular films is not about films that is not about religion. And littered means, they left things in a place or making it look untidy. The reviewer is with the point that these days you'll find the people call it a family film, but they are littered. But our conclusion is that the movie Hachi is not littered with those kind of things. But Hachi, a dog story, does not resort to these offensive staples of the modern family friendly film. I highly recommend this well acted and movie. A film about a dog and his master to audiences of all ages. Okay, any people of any ages can enjoy, because this film is not only a delight to watch, but it's tender relations of loyalty, friendship, commitment, and love, as well as its positive portrayals of family and marriage leave audiences with some important ideas to discuss with their families. So the reviewer is recommending to watch the movie, right? Okay, dear students, now we'll discuss some of the words. Okay, exercise A, it says, find the words from the text for the meanings given below. Yes, can you please guess the answer? Never changing or becoming weaker. Right, that's unwavering. What about next? Great love, care, and support for somebody or something. Good. That's devotion. What about next? A person who travels some distance to work on a regular basis. Okay, I'll give you a clue. The letter begins with the letter C. You're right. Commuters, right? Okay. What about this? A person or company that sells goods or services. Great. Vendor. What about next? The act of changing something, make it suitable for new situations. Adaptation. This movie is also adapted, right? What about next? Yeah, can you read? To strengthen with some added piece, support, or material. Good. That's reinforce. Okay. Having or showing strong feelings. You want the clues? All right. The letter begins with P. Letter P. That's passionate. What about next? Connecting with films and how they're made. That's cinematic. Yes. Next. We're almost at the end of the class. Next exercises. Not having any connection with religion. What's that? You're right. That's secular. Dear students, we have come to the end of the class. I hope you enjoyed today's class. I'll see you later. Bye.